It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Thank you, Mr. Dick Irvin, who turned 94 years old this month. Great day to talk hockey, but could have been a better day. On the score sheet tonight, you know what? I think I'm going to cancel my Alex Carrier jersey that I had ordered. What do you think, folks? Donnie paid for these yesterday, so I feel obligated to have a couple of pints tonight. Kind of need them. Here's to you, Donald. Thank you for the $20 yesterday that you sent me on the live chat. Appreciate it. Always stays good. So, Alex Carrier, can David Reinbacher get here soon enough? I don't know. That would have been Connor Murphy in front of the net there. I think he would have moved the person. Could they not have sweetened the pot? Second round pick, something else. I still think. I mean, we'll know better at season's end, but as far as I'm concerned, Kent Hughes dropped the ball at the trade deadline, not doing something at the very least, freeing up some cap room so that you could have called up Reinbacher and Fowler the day after the trade deadline. It's clear to me, and it's just becoming more and more clear every game that Carrier plays. They finally bit the bullet on Montembeault. They finally bit the bullet on Gallagher. There's one more, guys. Alex Carrier. He has to sit. And you can't have 5 left defensemen in the lineup, I don't think. So you need a right defenseman. They didn't get one at the trade deadline. They need to get one. They need to bring up David Reinbacher, St. Paddy's Day. An Austrian Irishman on that day. What was Carrier doing? Well, on 2 goals. But, it's been obvious. It's been obvious time after time of late that he can't clear guys in front of the net. And was there any better example than that goal with Graf in front of the net? It was like he was leaning against him. He didn't even try to push him out of the way. He's like, okay, I'm going to let you screen Dobish, and then I'm going to let the puck deflect off you past him. It's okay. I've got a job, but it doesn't matter. I never get taken out of the lineup, so why should I try? Larry Carrier could have done a better job of getting the guy out of the front of the net. And he's what, 75, 80 now? Former Montreal Canadian assistant general manager, former Buffalo Sabre. I don't know about you guys, but I had his card at one point there, Larry Carrier. He, at 75, would have done a better job of clearing the front of the net on that play. I would have done a better job. Well, for a guy, 230 pounds, but that's another thing. Yes, Carrier. I've had enough. I looked at, I did a little digging because it's, I thought to myself, geez, this Carrier fellow seems to be on the ice for a lot of goals against lately. In his last 19 games, he's been on the ice for 30 goals against. That's not good when you're a third pairing defenseman, folks. In fact, his goals against average, which is goals against per 60, right? In that time is .524. Now, anyone that's followed me here before knows that what I do is I compare that to the team's goals against average, right? It's a good stat. I don't know why it's not being used in the NHL, but I use it. I think it's a good gauge on a player's defensive game. Well, the club's goals against in those games is .336. So almost a 2 goal per 60 difference there between what the club lets in and what the club lets in when Carrier is on the ice. That's horrible, folks. It's terrible. So enough's enough. He doesn't bring a physical presence. He he has 20 points. Okay, that's fine. But David Reinbacher can get 20 points over a year. Like, he can get a point every 3 games. In fact, you probably get a point every 2 games. You get him out there with good players. Unfortunately, there's one more game to play before that. You know, they could have easily lost to Ottawa and Toronto, and then they lost to San Jose tonight now. You know, everybody be saying, geez, they should have made a move at the trade deadline. Well, yeah, they should have, because now they're in a precarious spot. They can easily leave. So are they going to sit Carrier next game and dress 5 left defensemen? Probably not. So they're stuck with him in there. He has to play. Anyway, 7 points for Celebrini in 2 games against the Habs. There always seems to be guys that come along that just have the Habs number, right? Young hot shots. It's happened lots of times, and it's happening again. That Celebrini was good, but they were lucky tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah, he had the nice goal. I'll give him that, but the friggin' tip looked like the guy tipped it from the net. I guess he didn't. Sherwood or whatever. Looked like a high stick tip. And then, of course, the goal that Hudson scored, that the ref, for some reason, blows his frickin' whistle. Why can they? Sometimes the whistle blow thing is okay, and sometimes it isn't. But in that instance, blows it right away. And then, did you notice in the third period again, where the puck came in and another really quick whistle when the Canadians had a great chance? Like, and you know, we've seen a couple times this year with the Habs where the puck, no one can see the puck for a minute, and the ref doesn't blow the frickin' whistle. But Nedeljkovic has it for a split second. Whoop, tweet, play over. I don't blame Hudson for being upset about that. That was garbage. So, and then Cappy gets the puck. Cappy gets the puck in the slot there and rings it off the post, right? Not in the Hudson one, difference in the game. Habs, for the first time in 14 games, didn't score 3 goals, and it cost them against a San Jose team that's not very good defensively. So Canadians came out great. Like, I thought they were playing fantastic in the first period, the first 12, 15 minutes. I thought, you know, just like the Toronto game, it looks like they're getting their shit together when it comes to first periods. They're coming out a lot better than in earlier in the year when it seemed like it was just, you know, well, the last 2 years, lousy starts to games. But it helps, mind you, when the goalie doesn't let in his first shot, right? But then the one chance, and Celebrini buried it, and that was a nice one. And yeah, he's something else. He's quite a hockey player. Glad he's Canadian, because we're going to stomp on we being Canadians are going to stomp on the Americans next time we play them in the Olympics and the World Cup and whatever, all of those things. So, yeah. Canadians, what, on a road? They're at home now. What, 5 out of their next 6? It was 6 of 7. Now it'll be 5 out of 6. They've got to start winning up with the big boys when it comes to their record at home. It's not good. It hasn't been good. It just seems, I don't know what it is about home, but it ain't sweet. It ain't home sweet home, that's for sure. They're better on the road than they are at home. And I mean, what better crowd is there than the Bell Center crowd? It's tough to beat, right? But for whatever reasons, they I don't know. They're not nearly as good at home as they should be. Mark, let me help you soothe the loss. Thank you, buddy. $10. I love the yellow. Hey, Nas, $2 donation. Let's go, Habs. Hey, look at it this way, right? I figured they'd lose one of the 3 games after the trade deadline, and I'm glad it wasn't against the divisional teams. It was against San Jose, team from the West. So it's not nearly as impactful, right, as it would have been. But how many bad passes did Nick Suzuki make tonight? Man, oh man, he just one of his worst games that I've seen in a long time. And then I mean, that one he fanned on. Okay, you know, you can fan on pucks. I'll give him benefit of the doubt on that, but he did not play a real smart game tonight, and outplayed by the Celebrini line. It's funny, you know, Kapanen's line went up against them in San Jose, and they ended the game even against them. They scored 1 goal against Kapanen's line, and Kapanen scored a goal. Wasn't the case tonight with that line. They were Suzuki's line was outplayed. They matched up Suzuki's line against Celebrini's, and Kapanen's line did a lot better job last time around. Bolduc, I have a feeling he's going to be the guy that sits out next game. I think we got hint of that. Did you notice in the third period there, they switched it up, and Texier moved up to the third line when they needed a goal there. I think that was a signal of what we're going to see. Galley's going to play next game. Hey, sits out the first game in 14 years, right? I'm sorry, but I feel for the guy. You know, apparently he took it well and all that, but man, that had to be one of the toughest conversations of Marty St. Louis' life, having to tell 14-year warrior, you know, who's played twice as long as any other player on the team. Like Suzuki and Evans haven't played more than 7 years, right? Got it. You have to tell. Galley, the 14-year vet, who's never been a healthy scratch as a Montreal Canadian, who's bled, you know, blood, sweat, and tears for the club. 5'9" warrior. When people in the last decade and a half, like I've been in scouting, right? And scouts all over the league said, well, he's like a Gallagher. It's been a saying, you know, maybe not as much the last couple of years, but for 10 years, that was what people, whenever you'd come across a kid that was 5'9", 5'10", 5'8", 5'7", that, you know, played like he was 6'3", that's what people from all over the league would, you know, at scouts that I talked to, yeah, he plays like Gallagher. He's a Gallagher, you know. It's a phrase in the scouting world. And just so, you know, it just goes to show you the respect that this man has. I'm getting emotional here, but that he has gained in the league, and that had to be tough. It really did, because Marty is a little guy himself that you know, worked his ass off, played his ass off, competed hard, and you know, he probably sees a lot of Galley in himself, you know. So that was tough, you know, and they lose. So Galley will be in next game, and I'm pretty sure it'll be Zach Bolduc that is the one that sits out for Galley tomorrow. They'll come back with Fowler, obviously, in nets, I think, too, right? Fowler will be in nets, Galley be back in. I thought Struble played another good game. He set up Gappy. He had 2 really good setups on that shift. He came into the play. He tried to tie it up. He he had some nice forays into the offensive zone and made nice plays. And again, wasn't noticeable in his own zone. Like didn't make a lot of mistakes. Played a hell of a lot better than Carrier did. Like if and Strubal's actually pretty decent on the right side. I'd almost consider like just say Jack Eye Strubel last pairing, dry five left defenseman just tomorrow and wait for and call up Reinbacher on first thing Monday as soon as they're able. 12:01 Monday morning or whenever. I'd be saying I'd be texting them saying you're up. Let's have a quick look at some stats here. Phil Danault, -3. Didn't cover the guy in front of the net on that one goal. Didn't cover for him. Alex Texier, -2. Josh Anderson, -2. Dobson, 2 assists, +1. Demi Dov with the nice assist. Man, I was, I don't know about you, but I was pretty worried about Demi there. He went in, crashed into the boards pretty heavy. Hopefully he's okay there. When they said, oh, he's gone back down, I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no, he's back. Like, okay. Jesus. That was concerning. As far as ice time goes, Hudson, 26 minutes. He had some jump again. Lane, just, man, he can scoot. He really can. Was I ever wrong when I said that his skating wasn't a real strength of his game? But in defense, that was more in his draft year, and it certainly improved since then. He plays practices 6 hours a day or something. It showed, but Slav 21, Suzuki 22, Caulfield 20. So the big line played lots. Matheson 2050. Interesting that Lane had 5 minutes more than anybody else, or just about 5 minutes more than Dobson. So they leaned on him. Whenever they need a goal, Lane doesn't leave the ice too often. What did Carrier play? 13:55. Yeah. Well, maybe they're finally saying, maybe this guy isn't all that in a bag of chips, eh? That's one of his lowest, if not his lowest total of the year. His average, he's been averaging 19:21 this year in ice time. And it should be either 0 or 12 or something like that. Should be the lowest among all the defensemen if he's playing. What I would be doing is calling up Reinbacher and taking Carrier out altogether right now. They made the hard decision on Monty. They made the even 10 times harder decision on Galley. They can make that decision. They can make the damn decision on Carrier as well. Hey, he came in last year. He played very well. He helped the team get in the playoffs. Monty helped the team get in the playoffs, but last year was last year. You have to be in the now. And that, like Carrier, Evans, and Dunn. When Carrier, Evans, and Danault were out on the PK, I almost feel like it's just almost an automatic goal against. And it happened again tonight, right? Oh. Danault and Evans are not playing very well on the PK. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work. Evans worked well with Armia, and clearly that's they're missing Armia on the PK. That's evident. He worked well with him on the PK, but the Danault Evans combination penalty killing is not working. I got to look it up here. I heard that they were down to like 29th or something like that. Let's see here. Worst penalty kill percent. Oh, in NHL history. Okay. Well, they're not maybe quite that bad, but like I know they were. Okay. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 20. They're still 26th, eh? I think after tonight, they're probably back 27th. But, I mean, I don't think it's any coincidence that they were 27th worst in the league when Evans got injured. They got up to 20th when he was out. And since he's come back, they're back down to 27th worst in the league. He's not killing penalties well this year. I know last year he was very good at it. I know last year Carrier was good on the PK. I know Monty was good on the PK. All three were good on the PK last year. This year, they're not. You know, and it's got to change. Canadians are not going anywhere with it being the 27th worst penalty kill in the league. They're just not. You know, Vancouver, Ottawa, St. Louis, Seattle, LA. What do they all have in common? They're not in the friggin' playoffs. Montreal sticks out like a sore thumb. All the other teams, you know, all the other teams in the bottom 10, none of them have a record close to Montreal's. Well, it's because they're scoring friggin' lots of goals to make up for it. But the PK, if you got the bottom 5 PK, bottom 7 PK in the league, you're not doing anything in the playoffs. And with that soft defense, they're not winning into playoffs. There's no way. They needed to get a big right defenseman, and it wasn't that hard. Like, I'm sorry, a second round pick. They couldn't part with a second round friggin' pick at the. There's not a space in the lineup for all these picks. I've said it over and over again. Half the team is under 24 years of age. They're not going to be replaced by second round picks. Is Demidov going to be replaced by a second round pick? You know, no. And they've got Hage come in, scored a beautiful goal again tonight. Check it out if you haven't. I didn't get it downloaded, but you know, they've got Hage coming. They've got Reinbacher. They've got Jarosky, Pickford on it, like Thorpe eventually, Papanicus maybe, you know, Engstrom. Like, the odds of a second round pick right now with the Canadians' depth that they have in the farm system and on the team, the young depth, it's probably about 20%. Well, they couldn't part with that to get a right defenseman. They don't want to replace Carrier. Like, they think Carrier is playing great. If they do, they need a new video coach. They gotta, like, I'm gonna put in my resume. I know I asked before, but I'm gonna say, hey, you know, I'm available. I'll be your video coach. Anyway, back to the stats here for a few minutes. Shots on goal. Kirby Dach led the way with 4 shots. No, the Docker wasn't too bad tonight. Cappy won 6 or 5 and lost 1 in the faceoff, 83% yet. And here's another one of those stubborn things that they just never change. And the stats say differently. Alex Newhook took 8 faceoffs. Him, career 40 friggin' percent faceoff guy. And Cappy, who was 83 in draws tonight. Well, you know, I mean, I know that's double Newhook's career average, but we got to have Alex Newhook take the draws on that line. Stubborn is what stubborn does. It's just like, you know, they're going to keep doing this stuff. And, you know, even though the stats right in front of their face, no. Alex Newhook, 40% career face-off guy. He's going to take more face-offs than the rookie that's 48% on face-offs. And it's only going to get better and better. But no, they're going to develop Alex Newhook as a faceoff specialist, 24-year-old career 40% guy, and the guy that's 48 is a rookie, which is sensational if you look at rookie stats in history. If you're a 48% faceoffs as a rookie centerman, you're going to be 54% plus. It's always you improve by 6%. It's like almost like clockwork. But no. The guy that's played 6 years in the league and has a 40% career faceoff mark, no, that's the guy we're going to develop as the faceoff guy on the second line. I don't know. It's a good thing they've got so much good young talent because they keep making these decisions that I don't understand. Jake Evans, 78% faceoffs. That's good. Nicky, 15-9, 63. Yeah. Well, he was winning draws. They won 61% of the draws tonight, but when they had the puck, they weren't doing a hell of a lot with it. Slav, for somebody that had 20 friggin' 128, he was kind of, I don't know, waltzing around tonight. He had one shot. I'd like to see Slav. The one thing that I have noticed this year, he's not hitting very much, is he? Like that physical edge that you saw in the past 2 years and at the start of this year. Like, I know he's Fancy Dan now. He's confident with the puck, and that's great. But what happened to that edge to his game? Like, they don't have many of those guys. And Josh, even lately, hasn't really been playing with an edge. So who's the thumper right now on the team? Like, who's the guy that can get the crowd going with a big hit? Is there anybody in the last 20 games that he's been thumping guys? Not really. None. And again, come playoff time, certainly not looking that bright for them going very far in the playoffs this year, is it? And they're content with that. I'm of the opinion that this young core, they're the best thing that you could do for under 24 players that are in the league already is get them playoff, get them to the second round of the playoffs minimum, but not making a single move at the deadline, and how soft they are. They're not gonna. They'll be lucky to win 2 games. They won 1 last year. I don't know. Maybe they'll win 2 this year. I guess that's progress, but that's not, the East, with the East being wide open, as far as I'm concerned, they had a shot to win the East. They had a shot to win the Cup if they made some moves and they think differently, but I'll never, clearly I've loved what the management's done for the most part. But that's one where we definitely have disagreements. Mr. Paul, $20. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You guys are making me. You guys are cheering me up a little bit. I can afford to drink my beer now. Thanks, Paul. Paul was pointing out to me that he had preseason. He made the prediction that the Habs would get 100 points. And I went back and I looked up, because I seem to recall that myself. Liam and I did predictions there, and it was I said 103 points in second place for Montreal. That's about what they're on pace for, but they're going to have to start playing better at home. Paul texted me saying I think they're 18-14 at home. That ain't good enough. Don't order Ghoulies one either. Yeah. Don't know who will sit, but Galley will play for sure tomorrow. Yes, he will. Probably Bolduc. Cole's so close to 40 goals now. 30 plus years. Yeah. Vinny Damphus, last one. It's pretty sad, eh? That the team that used to be dubbed the Flying Frenchman haven't had a 40 goal scorer in 30 plus years. 32, 33 years. Vinny Damphus. Yeah. Was it not 96? Maybe it was 93, 94. Something like that. Celebrini, yes. Habs were just playing outplayed tonight. As it turned out, there wasn't a lot of jump. That's for sure. And you go back, like a night like tonight, it's like, oh, Newhook. He's just not, like, he's not very creative, is he? Handle the puck. He gets the puck in the offensive zone, and it's like a grenade. When he's done with the puck, sometimes it's square, you know. Page is another one that can't arrive here soon enough. Michigan won 4-2. He was solid defensively. I watched the game playing against McKenna and Penn State. Looked really solid. I liked his game tonight. Again, he looks a lot better in the regionals this year than last year. Michigan was long gone by now and didn't even, didn't do anything playoff time last year. Different story this year, second ranked in the nation. And they'll be facing the first ranked for the Big Ten title. I'll be sure to watch that game, Michigan against Michigan State. Or actually, no, I guess that's not. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. That game's not over yet. Ohio State upset the big boys there last game. Wisconsin. Let me just check here. Oh, my goodness. Ohio State beat Michigan State. Okay. Oh, wow. That's huge. That's a huge upset, folks. So, hey, don't sleep on Michigan on Ohio State. It's funny. My niece's husband, huge Michigan State fan, and I was gonna text him, but I couldn't find his. Been so long since I texted him, I didn't find his contact, and I didn't. But I was gonna say, don't sleep on Ohio State, on the Buckeyes, and sure enough, my goodness, they upset Michigan State, the number one ranked team. How many times has the number one rank gone down? Remember Paling the 2 years in a row? Fifth. Well, that was in the the Frozen Four tournament. First ranked team and lost to the 16th ranked team 2 straight years. Pretty crazy. I just want to get the stats up here. Get an update. Well, we'll look at the scores. Senators beat the Ducks 2-0. Bruins, I watched that, the friggin' 9-round friggin' shootout. Capitals couldn't score. That was pathetic effort by Ovi in the shootout. Jets beat Colorado. Colorado's come back to earth, man. The last 20 games. Pretty average. Rangers... Rangers beat Minnesota 4-2. Islanders 3-2 over the Flames. Carolina 4-2 over Tampa. Thank you, Carolina. Devils 6-4 over LA. Sharks won. Did you know that, folks? After a shootout, Buffalo beats Toronto. Well, Toronto gets a point. That's okay. Columbus friggin' wins again. Son of a bitch. Dallas beats Detroit 3-2. So Tampa and Detroit lose. So that's Not too bad, I guess. Could have been worse. So not another night where not all these teams won. There seemed to be a quite a run there where several of them were winning. Utah 2, Pittsburgh 1. Vegas 3-0 over Chicago, and Vancouver is tied with Seattle 1-1. So we'll get to the live standings here. See how it lines up now. Carolina's first in the East with 90, Buffalo 88, Tampa 84, Montreal 82. Still can still catch Tampa. 6 back is Buffalo now. Buffalo, I don't expect the Habs to catch Buffalo. They've just been too freaking hot. Islanders still in 5th place. Play 2 more games than the Canadians. 1 point back. Boston now only two back of the Habs. Played 1 more game. Detroit's played 2 more, and they're 2 back. Pittsburgh still hanging on to the 8th spot. Columbus tied with them, though, in points. So now Pittsburgh is the team that's, hey, Detroit and Pittsburgh are really catchable for Columbus. Frig. Columbus has a game in hand on, they now have a better win percentage than Detroit. So look out for Columbus, man. They haven't lost too many games in regulation in the last. They're just red hot. Washington, I think, had to win that game. 14 games left, and they're 5 out and 4 teams to beat, to jump ahead of. Doesn't look too good. Philly, I wouldn't count them out exactly yet. They're 5 out, 16 to go. So still an 11-team race, I would say, in the East, and very tight. Montreal, like I say, it's a good thing they won those 2 games, right? They're because they'd be in trouble if they'd lost the first 3 after the trade deadline. But good stuff. Let's get to, by the way, all of my co-hosts Saturday night. They're busy tonight, and I don't. That's fine. So you are my co-host, so I'm going to get to all of your great comments. You always have great stuff to say, and we'll talk about. I'll just comment. If you got questions, ask me, and I'll try to answer. Sure didn't like the compete in the ozone. Not enough piss and vinegar. I think they were off tonight. Please bring up Reinbacher. Enough already. Yeah, I agree 100%. They're not playing with an edge. I want to see more. I want to see some. Slav, 225 pounds, 21 years old. There's no excuse for him not. He's supposed to be a burgeoning power forward. Well, the power part of it is missing these days. Yeah, I like that he's getting more points and stuff, but don't forget how big you are. Don't forget what got you there, Slav. It's the combination that's what's so attractive. And if it's only the skill part that you bring, who cares if you're 6'3", 230 pounds? If you don't use it, he's got to use it. Be gentle with me for this comment, but they lost because Gallagher was sitting. Had he played? No, exactly. No. Hey. There, we're ready to rock now. I'm just going to have a drink. Blow my nose, have a drink of beer, and I'm set. All set to go. Yeah, they need an upgrade on. I don't know. I'd bring up anybody. I wish they had more right defensemen. Difficult game by Demidov and Evans tonight. Couple of bad turnovers, decisions. Yeah, yeah. Evans had his two games that he was really good. So I'm not gonna be too hard on him, but yeah, wasn't his best game. Demi, I'll give him a little bit of a leeway for he was playing injured, I think, right? So I'm not going to get too hard on him. Susie rough game, so many blind pass giveaways, yeah. But the positive of that is that it's not usually what Susie does. So I'm willing to give him a bit of a pass on that one too. I mean, he's the guy, right? Without Susie, they're not where they are. So just put it up as one poor game for Susie tonight, and I fully expect him to bounce back with a good game. I don't think Cole was 100% too either, right? I know, got the 38th goal and stuff, but after that, I think he's still fighting whatever is bothering him there a little bit. Yeah, well, people are seriously worried about our lack of physicality come playoffs. Yeah, I didn't see this before I commented, but we're on the same page there, Bib Giacob, or however you want to pronounce that. Absolutely. I just let me just I need to give our sponsor a little shout out here. Next Level Hockey, folks. Specialists in hockey development trusted by NHL prospects. Whether you're looking to elevate your game, shooting, skating, stick handling, or overall game, NLH is here to take your game to the next level. Visit them at nextlevelhockey.com. Oh my goodness, I do this every friggin' time. Sorry, folks. There you see, nextlevelhockey.com. Okay. And follow their Instagram, as you can see underneath the logo. For daily tips, posts, and updates. If you or someone you know have young, aspiring hockey players who want to elevate their game, trust Next Level Hockey to guide them forward. Next Level Hockey, it's in the name. All right. We got that out of the way. Why don't we get their logo on here too? And Logs End. By the way, Logs End. Logsend.com. Yvan Cornoyer. It's where he got his flooring, folks. Check out their website. Tell them Yvan and Grant sent you. Get a quote from them, and they will treat you like kings. If you're friends of Yvan and me, you're friends of Logs End. All right. We've got it. Hey, 140, 150 tuning in. That's pretty cool. Thank you. I see pounds. I see pounds. Charles, 3 a.m. Charles, Scotland. Thank you for the £5, my friend. Since Hugo didn't add Thump, Florian, and Thorpe, despite Raw, must be added for playoffs. No idea who sits out, but without physicality, another quick exit. Yeah, they're young, but I think they'll call it Blay. Reinbacher. Reinbacher now. Yeah, thanks, Charles. I appreciate it. Blay. I don't know about those two. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I just think that they're not quite ready, but something needs to. They need more. They need more sandpaper. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I wanted them to get Toropchenko and Murphy or White Cloud at the deadline. They didn't do it. And you can see that it's clearly lacking. If Josh isn't thumping, nobody is. And he hasn't really been doing that lately. I feel opponents can skate at will in our zone. Yeah, even at peripheral, that gives them a lot of options. I know. Leaky and there's a lot better defensive teams than the Habs. That's right, for sure. Shout out to Liam and yourself earlier. Great podcast, by the way. Loved it. Great insight and stories. Thanks, man. Liam's a gem. Hard to see Chernyshov like that. Poor kid. Oh, yeah, he looked like he hit his head there pretty hard, eh? Crazy. I wasn't too impressed with the Habs play along the boards while in the offensive zone tonight. Oh, no. No. Not cycling the puck, not doing a lot. Roger rides bikes. The Carrier on that third goal. Wow. Oh, man. No push whatsoever. Again, Larry Carrier at 75 would have done a better job of clearing out Graf there. I wouldn't want to see the Graf, would be like this of, his physicality against Graf wasn't very good. Liam is terrific. Been a minute since we've seen Eric. Yeah, Eric's gonna be back this week. He had to end up doing his off the record on Thursday. We had it booked, and so it got bumped. But yeah, and then he was in Mexico for 10 days. But yeah, we're gonna get him back. Carrier is useless. Reinbacher needs a call up. Yes, Ellen. We're on the same page there. Skoy with the tweet of the night. Can I star this or something? You're always right, Grant. Yeah. Sometimes I'm right. MSL keeps playing him on the PKY. Well, I don't know, but it's a major reason why they are bottom 6 in the league. That's for sure. Eli, fix the power play. Games are won and lost by them. Well, got to fix the PK. Actually, the second power play looked a little better tonight. Without Galley there, they had a lineup. Well, that's the one I've been calling for, to have Cappy, Doc, and Bolduc out, and it worked fairly well. Cappy, if he wouldn't have fanned on the one-timer, might have popped one there too. Stats are nuts. I know, 524 goals against average with Carrier on the ice. Not good. What is Carrier doing playing with Hudson? Hate seeing them out together. Too much size, eh? Yeah, I know. Habs have overachieved. However, nothing has been done to increase physicality. So sadly, we'll struggle in the playoffs. Lack of physicality for Carrier and Struble hurts. Yeah. Something that bothered me with Kent in one of his last press conferences noted, Washington beat us, but then this team that was supposedly beat us because they were more physical then lost to a Carolina team that's not that physical. So it's almost like they've had these real in-depth conversations where they've convinced themselves that you don't need to be physical to win at playoff time. You go after you look at the breadth of all playoff teams with success, and very few go far without physicality. I mean, yeah, okay, Carolina beat Washington, but Washington just wasn't that good. Carolina has never, with this skilled team, I've never never won the East. So, anyway, appreciate all the podcasts and all your different guests, Grant. Always great to hear as a Habs fan, like and spread the Habs word. Yes, I think somebody else mentioned maybe if you don't mind, and there's quite a few of you on here tonight, hit that like button, please. Mark, please take a minute to like and subscribe. Helps Grant out a lot. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Francois, it was the first time in 14 games. They had gone 13 straight with 3 goals. You know why you think? You think you know that? Because I told you on the last HabsCast after the last game. You come here for the information, stay for the pint. Sharks had a few lucky bounces. Yeah, oh yeah. I didn't think it was. Game could have gone either way. The call against the Hudson goal, if the ref doesn't blow his whistle too fast, if Cappy, he had a great chance there if he buries that. Mind you, San Jose hit a couple of posts too, but we won't count that. Habs did not look good tonight. The big line was off. Way too soft. Way too soft. Yep. No, Hudson Carey is not a keeper. 6'4" Murphy would have been a solution. Yeah, would have helped. I thought Struble held his own tonight. I think he'll play again next game. Well, last 2 games he's been quite good, I think. Let's have a look here. Strubes led the way. Struble, Bolduc, Doc, 3 hits each. Struble only played 11-14. Wasn't -2 like Carrier. Pretty solid outing in general for Struble again. What on earth's happened to Bolduc scoring? I wouldn't call him a stick handler or a creative player. There's limitations in that man's game. And I think maybe St. Louis saw that when they decided to unload him to pick up what's already turned into a 25-minute-a-night right defenseman with some physicality. I can think of another team that could use that right now. Anyone else? Can anyone else think of a team that maybe could use a 6'3" physical right defenseman? Anyway. Yeah, you're not going to win them all, right? Not every trade's going to be that's why there's 2 teams trading. Takes 2 to tango. Yeah. Gallagher was well played. He should not feel bad at all. You've never been a pro athlete, have you, Bob? Sorry, but he'll feel bad. He's competitive, man. More competitive than anybody. Yeah, he'll play. He'll feel bad. Damn right he will. Like Marty just said, wrist shots from the blue line should be blocked by players. Yeah, they should. I was sad that Galley didn't play at all or make a fist complain at all. I was said. It was said, maybe. Head held high, pro like he is. First guy on the ice at practice, right? Yeah. And I'm sure they explained it to him. Look, you're 34. We want to sit you out. We want you fresh for the playoffs. I'm sure they told him it that way, right? But still, not an easy friggin' not an easy conversation to have with the heart and soul for the last 14 years. And I don't want to hear the comments. Sorry. You got to know, you don't, people that just think about like the play and him not scoring enough or whatever, there's a lot more to it than that. And it's not as easy as just saying, oh, he's made all this money. Just, sit him the rest of the year, buy him out, all that, trade him away. I don't think it's happening, folks. And there's a lot of reasons for it. And it goes beyond just performance on the ice. I know, get Bolduc and Carrier off my hockey team. Yeah. I'm sure he knows his time's running out. You can't, during the opening ceremony when he walked on the ice. When people disrespect Gally, he was always played hard for us and leaves everything on the ice. Too many disrespect him, which is sad. Yeah, I know. It's easy for us in the cheap seats to criticize a guy that's given his heart and soul. Oh, but then there's always 6.5 million solves a lot of feelings. Hey, there's a lot of sad rich people in the world. There's one that lives just down below us that's a billionaire, and he's been sad all his life. So money. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. Johnny Lennon said it best. Montreal Canadiens are guaranteed to. I guess actually it was Paul McCartney. Guaranteed to make the playoffs, pretty much. How many games can Columbus and Ottawa win in their last 17? Oh yeah, I know Montreal's not guaranteed, but Marcel, how do you donate? Oh, that Mark's right there to explain. Marcel loves spa. And did he donate? No. It's funny how people that usually ask don't end up donating. Thanks, Marcel, for asking, though. I hope you can figure it out. I wait here patiently. I don't have $6.5 million like some people. They need a couple of defensive hammers. Absolutely. Big need for defense. We have lots of offense. Going to have to spend draft picks on defenders. I don't think it'll be on draft picks. It'll be off-season trade, maybe UFA signing, and get Reinbacher in there next year. Hugo could have got a physical D. Yeah, I know. Carrier for Knives? Yeah. You think the pipeline, holy geez. Between you and Skeleton there, you're scary looking fellas. Your avatars. Is that like Iron Maiden hat fan or something? You think with the pipeline so few full guys on the team not producing, they would be hitting everything in sight. So few guys, I know. And, like, did not sink into Bolduc that, hey, Gally's going to play next game. Maybe I got to play well tonight. Yeah, well, you're going to be sitting in the stands next game, young fella. Don't be afraid. Unless you give up a good asset, is what you get back going to be head and shoulders above? Not have to be head and shoulders, just got to be physical. And not hard to be as good. That's why I'm not too excited about this playoff. If we make the playoffs. Love Slav to play like Tim Kerr. Yeah. 60 goals. That'd be nice. Rookie camp is going to be a war and a hot ticket in Montreal, maybe. Yeah, well, Francois, but they also could have got rid of, they could have got rid of a couple of players. As I said, sellers and buyers. That's all they had to do, be sellers and buyers. They were not. Oh, new member, Jordan Saylor. Hey, Jordan, thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. Why don't you say something? Join in the conversation. By the way, the young lad's not home tonight, so I can go for a while. So keep the comments coming here, folks. We've got a good crowd here, 168. 660 on X. By the way, if you're on X and you want to join in the conversation here, I get a lot more benefit out of you watching on YouTube than on X. And you hit that like button, come in here, join in the chat, and I'll get to your question. It's a big part of this show is all of the people in live chat, the great Habs fans that we have here. Yeah. Celebrini, 7 points in 2 games. My goodness. Yeah, second season, eh? Or, as Gretzky said, the 4th season or 3rd season. First season's exhibition, second season's regular season, 3rd season playoffs, 4th season Stanley Cup Finals. How many minutes did he play? 13. So it's down a bit, but 13 too many. But Habs really need a couple different things when we exit the zone. Teams are jumping on that long pass. Well, a little bit more support from the forwards would be good. And VDoc, our D's inability to clear the net will not bode well in the playoffs. No, that's what I was saying there. As usual, VDoc, we're on the same page, buddy. Notice I don't call you VD anymore. You're welcome. Florian would be a nice ad. Yeah. If he deserved it. Not too crazy about our chance. He still doesn't. He's got to get faster. He can't keep up with the NHL pace yet. He's not ready for the playoff hockey. They breeze right past him. Just not ready. Not too crazy about our chances in the playoffs. Gonna be another grind to wait till July 1st for some changes. Yeah. Hughes will need to have his speech to Slav again. We haven't drafted you to play like Jack Hughes, play like Brady Tkachuk. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Being promoted to the first line, I don't think helps either, right? That's not sending them a message to hit. That's, keep doing what you're doing. Keep playing like a, Harlem Globetrotter instead of a Shaq O'Neal. Gully is friggin' Bambi. Falls down all the time. Okay. The warts on this young team will appear, and likely more so in the playoffs. Hugo will right the ship as needed in the summer. I hope so. They know we are not big enough or physical enough. Yeah. They didn't seem to know it 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And like I say, Charles, I just don't think those two are ready yet. You don't want to feed them to the wolves either, right? The warts on this young team will appear and likely more. Yeah, okay, sorry. That's a repeat. Too much passing and trying to be cute. Yeah. We all knew at the start of the season, team wasn't ready to go deep in the playoffs. Yeah, as fans seeing where we are, we all want it now. Well, there's no team dominating the East. The opportunity is there to go far in the playoffs, but I don't know. Maybe without adding any pieces at the deadline, I'm not as optimistic. Doesn't Carrier stay in the lineup? Yeah, and I've been saying that forever, Anthony. He probably does, and he's like playing 8 to 12 minutes, hopefully. But the way he's been playing, maybe not. Like they've been playing with 4D all along here, right? 4 left D. Well, bring up Reinbacher, and you can still play with 4 left D. Like you can have one of the guys on the right side. Put it this way: Hudson on the right side is still better than Carrier. So if Carrier keeps playing like he is, he could be the guy out. Because Strubal's playing better than Carrier right now, just as a for instance, right? So, I mean, ideally you've got 3 lefties and 3 righties, but if one of the righties is sucking, well, use 4 lefties and 2 righties, one of them being Reinbacher. You know, I have been saying yes, 3 left, 3 right, but Carrier just I'm getting less and less confident that he can do the job, especially at playoff time. Teams in the middle. The teams in the past had a couple enforcers, more than a few middleweights, your elite power forward or 2, a couple of pests, half your D you would walk down an alley with. Today, that's not the way they're built right now. Happy Hab. Hey, you've been quite generous there, Happy Hab. You don't talk a heck of a lot on here, but you support me, and I remember that, and I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Oh, Dean Carrier, Larry Carrier's son. Liked what I said about Larry. $6.99. Thanks, Dean. I appreciate that. Hey, we're getting some nice contributions in here tonight. Thank you. That makes me happy. Happier than the Habs did tonight. Galley's a pro. I'm fairly certain that he took an older player's place when he was coming up. He's a warrior. That will never change. He'll play his heart out each time he's on the ice. Yeah, I'm sure he did, but you know what? They were going through a period where there were no forwards that had played 14 years. Like, you go back over the past 25 years, how many players on the Habs played 14 years? Not very many. How many skaters? How many forwards? Well, how many defensemen? Whatever. Not too many. It's a short list. So, yeah. Carey Price in nets, be about it. Carey and Galley, right? Galley and Andy will prove their worth in a Game 5 triple OT. Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't blame him for taking the money. Oh, yeah. Hammer to Struble, but take the muzzle and leashes off. Hammer 1, Jack Eye. Hammer 2. Yeah. Surprised our power play isn't better with the talent we have. Yeah. Are we not top 10? Are the Canadians not top 10 in power play? No. I know they were at one point. The Canadians are 5th in the league in the power play, folks. So, I know it's frustrating at times, but I mean, and the first power play unit's probably top 2. So, I know we like to live in the present, but all in all, the power play is not the issue here. It's the PK, especially, and Carrier, Evans, Deneau. I don't know. I don't have faith in them. On the power play, goalie seems every puck needs. Yeah. Well, again, they're 5th in the league on the power play. That's pretty good. Agree with you, Grant. I feel Bolduc won't be in the lineup. Often gets rid of the puck. I liked Texier's game, controlled the puck and used his body to keep it. Yeah, Texier had some moments again tonight. Again, seeing just reading the tea leaves, who replaced Bolduc got demoted during the game. When a guy gets demoted during the game, Marty doesn't do it very often. And there's somebody coming back in the lineup next game. The person that was demoted, I'd be shocked if it's not Bolduc sitting out the next one. And maybe it'll give him a kick in the pants, right? Like, how often has Zach Bolduc been a healthy scratch in his life? Maybe never, right? You're used to being the big cheese on your minor league teams, your junior. Maybe St. Louis, maybe they scratched him last year, but I don't know if they did. He wouldn't have got scratched in the AHL. Tomorrow might be the first time in his career he's a healthy scratch, and then hopefully it'd be a wake-up call for him. Say, okay, I got to get my button gear here. Yeah, the back check was lacking. They had a lot of 3-on-2s. They're a pretty fast team. They stretched it out. Strubes and Wi-Fi. Yeah. Well, again, what you're saying, go with 5 left D and 1 right D. Maybe. Probably not tomorrow night, though. And I think one of the solutions is bring up Reinbacher and keep platooning Struble and Jackeye. Maybe there's a virus going through the team. Hey, Claudio. Yeah. Newhook isn't the solution for the second line. No. Hage. I'm looking forward to Hage. He's going to. I like the thoughts of Hage being with Demidov and Cappy. I think that line will work. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. I hope if he gets signed, and I'm pretty sure he will at the end of this year, that's Newhook's ideal on the third line. Newhook, Doc, and Bolduc, Newhook, Doc Evans, whatever. Yeah. I think Slav's success this season has given him a little too much confidence. I still think he's trying to do too much. That could be. No player driving to the net, all in perimeter, make an extra pass. Yeah. I don't know if anyone caught the intermission. I like Chris. Chris Pronger is a pretty smart hockey guy, and he was asked about, and he's saying, I don't think they're going too far in the playoffs because they're, a little too much to the outside, and at playoff time, they really, they box in, and Montreal's going to have trouble penetrating because they just bit too perimeter and too small at this point. Said we did have a trade completed on draft day, but it was sent in after the deadline. Oh, nothing like waiting till the last minute, eh? Sharks player skating to the middle. Evans had him lined up, goes for the stick check and whiffs. Yeah, I know. The inactivity at the deadline makes me think that maybe Gooley was involved in some talks. I personally don't want to see him go. I don't think so, Ken. They hit nothing but air. You got to remember that Gooley still has he played 200 NHL games yet? We have to be patient with Ghouls. It's repetition is so important, getting the reps in. He's played 194 games, counting playoffs 199. Still hasn't played 200 NHL games, folks. We have to be patient with the young man. How many? Great show, Grant. I'm coping right now. Yeah. Nice cap, by the way. McJoven's cookies. Is that like McLovin or hit nothing but air? Yeah, the Sharks are pretty quick, eh, Brando? There might be some physical D available July 1st. From Hughes, Kent Hughes's history has shown that he seems to like making deals at the draft. So as soon as the playoffs are over, you can make a deal, right? I love Galley, but I think he won't play any back-to-back games. No, probably not. Oh, Jordan. New member and contributed some cash. Thank you, Jordan. Are you surprised they haven't retired Shuts number 22? Well, you can't retire everything, eh? I don't know. How productive would Steve Shutt have been if he didn't have Guy Lafleur on his wing, right? Jacques Lemaire and Pete Mahovlich at center. No, I'm not surprised, just because I think you have to draw the line at some point. I mean, if Shutt's in there, frig, you could probably make a case for a few others, and there'd be no numbers under 30, probably almost on the, but he's close. No, don't get me wrong, Steve Shutt, hell of a hockey player, great goal scorer for a few years. There's no doubt about that. But number retired, Montreal. I think at some point you have to kind of draw the line. I mean, it took them forever to retire Boom Boom Geoffrion number. I mean, he passed away before they finally retired Boom Boom. And I mean, one of the first guys to ever friggin', score 50 goals in the league, and that was when hardly anybody scored 50 goals. Like, he was like the third guy to ever do it or something like that. Or second. So, no. He's in the Hall of Fame, but there's lots of guys, Habs, in the Hall of Fame that didn't have their numbers retired. What do other people think? I think, close, but not. Part of his success was due to being playing with the best player of his era in Guy Lafleur too, right? I mean, if he'd have been on line with, Risebrow and Tremblay, would he have ever scored 50 goals? I wouldn't think so. But Steve Shutt was a hell of a sniper, no doubt about it. The Habs PP is the least of their problems. If you said PK, then I could see it. Yeah. Yes. Radkov got in a. You're really on the tough. Of course, it kind of matches your avatar, I guess. Eh? You mean? Are you mean machine, Kev? Yeah. You thinking? Are you thinking along the same lines as me? Maybe that's the guy. That's why they drafted him for his fighting, and maybe that's the guy they should call up. I'm thinking that too. Okay. Happy Patio. Happy Patio. I like that name. Looking at the playing time tonight, Anderson is the next one out. Tomorrow night, no Bolduc for me. Yeah. Anderson's on the fourth line, right? Bolduc was on the third, and he got demoted to the fourth line. That's the sign pointing towards. Anderson's the only guy that can, the only power forward they got right now. You take him out? I doubt it. Bolduc probably needs to be sent down to the AHL. They can't do that right now. Unless you're on the Laval's roster, playoff roster or something, you can't. I don't think you can be sent down. Under St. Louis coach, Bolduc was a healthy scratch. Okay, multiple. All right. Well, it's time again. Oh, and he was a healthy scratch this year too. Okay, good. All right, guys. You want to host the show tomorrow? I'm apparently out of my league here. The Bolduc trade might come back to bite us in the Keister. Oh, yeah. I was an advocate for Logan and caught a lot of flack on social media for it. Yeah, well, so did I. And I remember, like, I don't know how many. Well, Tony would have on Snake and me together, and of course he'd bring that up because he knew that I would defend Mayu, and he knew that Snake said, "Oh, Logan Mayu's a seventh defenseman at best in the NHL," and we had a couple of good conversations about that nights. Snake, he's gotta get experience, man. Any big young defenseman takes time, takes experience, takes reps. He played 100 friggin' games in the OHL, 100 games in the American Hockey League. You know what? How many games Thomas Harley played he played over 200 games in junior hockey, and just as many games in the AHL before he figured it out. So, and now he's a freaking Canadian Olympian, and played really well. Played at the Four Nations Cup, played in the Olympics. Similar size, lots of similarities between Harley and Mayu. But everybody, he makes mistakes in his zones. Well, yeah, because he needs experience. You don't just, like even at the AHL level, when you played 100 games in the OHL and you go into the AHL, which is a fantastic hockey league, none of us are good enough for the AHL, even close. Well, you're gonna have learning experience. You're gonna make mistakes. You think Larry Robinson, when he went to the AHL after playing one season in the OHA for the Kitchener Rangers, was just, never made mistakes and, didn't process the game great? Like, he doesn't process the game. Or just like Reinbacher, he doesn't process the game. He played 20 games in the AHL, 20 games in North America Pro. He processes the game just fine. It's not easy. It takes time. you know, people have to, especially defensemen, man. You go back behind the net, and there are 6'3", 28-year-old friggin' former NHLers coming barreling down on you, you know, that can skate and hit, and they're friggin' 220 pounds. And you not think that takes some getting used to? Of course it does. So, you know, you go from playing 16-year-olds, 160 pounds in junior hockey, to playing 230-pound guys that can skate, that are 28 years old, that are men, have been working out in the gym for 10 years. There's an adjustment period, you know? Anyway, there's a lot of people that don't quite get it when it comes to pro hockey and just what it involves, what the different timelines there are for defensemen, especially. The average age of a regular NHL defenseman is 23, 24 years old before they're regular NHL players. So have expected a player like Logan Mailloux, who had played 100 games, had hardly played at all for 2 years or 3 years, 100 games over 3 years, just to step into the AHL and never make a mistake. It was preposterous. Anyway. Good Branson. Yeah. Hey, let's help out Grant. If we all donate $2 each, that's over $300. Let's make this happen. He does a great job, and we need to keep this show going and support him. You got it, Happy Hab. Hey, Mark. 1 out of 300, or 1 out of 150. Thank you, buddy. Hey, I appreciate the effort, Happy Hab. Considering that you contributed $5, so thank you. So that's like 2.5 people right there. Matrix is real. Celebrini is a good man. Oh my God. Yeah. Good boy. Good teenager. He's something else. Send Bolduc down earlier in the season. Oh, okay. Playoffs are in jeopardy. No. Yeah, after a loss, eh? After a loss, everyone is doom and gloom. It doesn't look as bad as you're making it out to be. No. I kind of agree this Canadian teams may not be playoff caliber. Well, hey, maybe it's one more year, right? Take a lumps. I mean, it'd be great if they could win a series. If they somehow could end up playing Detroit or Boston, I think they can beat them. Tampa and Buffalo, little less sure about it. Oh, here comes Jordan, $1.49. Again, Jordan, thank you. You're being quite generous. And Marlon Brando, these are my 2 bits. The cheeks. And in The Godfather there. Thank you, M. Brando. I assume that the M stands for Marlon. Thank you. I can still see a world where we get in the playoffs and Fowler shines to bring us for a nice run. Well, that's what keeps running through my head. Reinbacher comes up, looks good. Hage comes in, solidifies that second line. Fowler. I mean, it's gonna. The only way it can happen is with the kids coming in, and if the kids are all right, maybe the Canadians can win a round anyway. Hage has got a little bit of bite to his game, and he's a pretty big, like he's 6'2", probably close to 200 now. little bit of jam there. Like he'll add some. He'll be a nice addition to the second line if they give him that look. If they're bold here, right, and they say, okay, we've got 3 kids that can help us here. Why don't we see if they can't right now? And I mean, you know, one's a top 20, 21 was age 21st overall, top 25 pick. One's a top 5 pick. So we're not talking about long shots here. We're talking about players that are supposed to be good and supposed to help a team, you know. I mean, we've seen it like Ryan Leonard joined the team last year, Washington, and you know helped them in the playoffs last year. Well, why can't Hage do the same? I like your optimism, Mark. I'm not by no means saying no, but you know, if they don't bring in Reinbacher, if they don't give Hage an opportunity in the top 6, if they trot out Monty again, you know, like if they remain stubborn here, I don't like their chances. I think Monty's probably done for the year. I think that ship has sailed, but we'll see. Mark, do me a favor there, buddy. Just go have a look and see how many likes we've gotten so far. See if we've cracked that 100 mark yet. We're probably, I guess, somewhere between 70 and 80 or something. It's just a guess. I haven't looked, but if you get a chance, here's my monitor on here. Someone mentioned earlier that Fowler was getting this start. I was a little surprised to see Dovish get it. Nah, I'm not surprised. They got back-to-backs here, right? They'll probably come back with they'll obviously play Fowler next game. Yeah, Doc's got a little bit of jam. Yeah. It's not funny. We can't have nice things. What you mean? It's like Bettman's ultimate plan. My computer, Chrome just crashed on me there, folks. Sorry about that. Can you hear me? Can you see me? You can hear me all right? Bettman got Grant. Yeah. Chrome just crashed. It's kind of cool that you don't lose the feed though. That's kind of cool. Thanks. So I was right, right? 72, between 70 and 80 likes. Man, it's hard to get people to press that like button, eh? I got to be more charming. I mean, I'm working on it, but one of these days. My opinion on Owen Protz. Yeah, well, maybe Brantford crashes out early and they bring up Protzy for the playoffs. He's probably 3 years away, but yeah, he brings that physical edge. Kevin, you really like you're on the rugged theme tonight, eh? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I get you. I hear you. 72 likes. Hit the like button. I want to get up to 100 here, folks. That would be great. 83 now. See, you just gotta, just like Bull Duke, just gotta give him a little kick in the butt every now and then, eh? Bettman got Grant. Never. Welcome back, Grant. Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, good. Problem with that is they aren't better. 83 now. Okay. All right. I'm going to swig the rest of this beer. By the time I'm done, I want someone to ask me a question. Well, at least there's another comment. They were better tonight. They were better back in San Jose, too. Who was better tonight, Terrence? Terrence Gajkowski. The Sharks were just better. Oh. I don't know. Cappy buries that one. I thought he did. The goal against Hudson doesn't get called back. I mean, it was only a 1-goal game, really, right? Grant, only player from Belfast. Oh. Who were your top 3 players tonight? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember who's from Belfast. I should know that, Sil. You might have. Yeah. Liam's the quiz master. I know I got Taiwan and I got Kolzig. South Africa, I got Langway, Taiwan, Belfast. The only player born in Belfast? Who the hell is the only player born in Belfast? Paddy McCracken? Was it Gerald Fitzpatrick or Patrick Fitzgerald? Owen Nolan. It was Owen Nolan, wasn't it? Just came to me. Yeah. How many more games does Arbor need to sit out before they realize to play him full time? I don't know. Hopefully about 100. Oh, well. ON. Oliver Newhook. Yeah, it was obviously Owen Nolan. Good one. Like asking these, I don't really pay much attention to where a person was born. Steve Lloyd has me on all the time. Got up to 100. Thank you, folks. Keep hitting that like button. We're rock and rolling now. Steve Lloyd, TSN 1200s. So, local guys, which guys from Ottawa do you like in the draft? Well, can you tell me which guys are, can you give me a few names? Because I don't know. Unless they're from the Ottawa Valley, then I know. Okay. If they're from my neck of the woods, I know. But, what? Gordie House from Floral, Saskatchewan. Wendell Clark's from Kelvington. Tim Hortons from Timmins. So are the Mahavliches, I believe. Esposito's from Sault Ste. Marie. You know, I think of the odd one, but um, Perry Sound, Thurso, the famous ones, right? Cole Harbor, Brantford. Who's better than him on the roster at 5 or 6D? Can we not get into an Arbor Jackeye? Just every effing. I don't know. No, you're right. He's the best. He's probably the best player on the roster. Don't know why he's not playing there. Mike, it's there. So let's discussion over on Jackeye tonight. Good. Reinbacher needs NHL look experience. Now makes sense. NHL look experience. Yes, I agree. Sharks are getting good at execution. Dickinson's starting to come, you know, he's getting better. Mook Madulin, they've got some good young defensemen. They're just going to take a little time. They're young, and I'll have less than 200 NHL games, just like Gooley. Takes time. I was a big Liam McGuire fan when he was on the Saturday Night Habs show as a guest. Oh, yeah? Showing your age, Sil? Yeah. Frig. Yeah, that's going back, right? Back Dick Irvin, Saturday night. What kind of expectation should we have? Okay, just a second here. At what point do you shadow celebrities and pound him? Okay. What kind of expectations should we have with Doc? Are his knees too damaged to ever become a productive six player? Rugged and physical death guy. Well, I think he can be a really important third line player. I'd like him ideally to be the third line center here, if possible. I think you need 2 years to fully recover from serious knee injuries. So next year will be important. We'll have a better idea. He needs a year. One more good summer of training. Come back next year. Be an important year for him. I think he has to make a step. I think he has the potential to be a 40, 50 point physical two-way center, as that's his potential, and we'll have a better idea next year if he can fulfill those expectations. Maybe at maybe second line center, but I think Cappy and Hage are gonna vie for that. Black Aces. With Laval being in the playoffs, I don't know how many they're going to have. I think Blais. You call up Reinbacher, and then you have 8 defensemen, so there'll be 2. Whoever the 2 extra defenders are, probably, platoon, Jackeye, Struble, and Carrier. I don't see too many Black Aces because Laval being in the playoffs and not being all that deep. But, and then Hage comes up too, right? So the Black Aces will be guys that are already on the roster, like Valeno, maybe Texier, maybe Bolduc, Arbor, and Struble, Carrier. and that will depend on if Reinbacher and then Blay as well as a black ace. That will depend on if Reinbacher and Hage are in the lineup. But I think the black aces will be mostly players that are kind of already on the roster right now. Join late, just catching up in the chat. Maybe this will help with the power bill. How did you know that I lost power? Yeah, we're not very rich here. Thank you, Cool Hand Luke. Yeah, I should use that angle, eh? Oh, I'm poor as a... Yeah. If he becomes an elite third liner, I'm happy with that. Yeah, well, at this point, right? Why not? Love guys who make teams regret playing against you, be it on the score sheet, body, or assist. The Corsons, Roberts, Clark, etc. They are a dying breed. Yeah. Even Darcy Tucker. Love him or hate him. I loved him when he was with the Habs. That trade that friggin' when Hool traded him. Oh, Riche, Tucker, and who else? There was 3 of them traded to Tampa, and they got Patrick Poulin. Had to get the Quebecer in there, and oh god. Thoughts on what the Habs may have offered to acquire Knives, if that was indeed the deal they tried to make? You're really trying to get his name changed to Knives, eh? You know what? I don't know. I don't like to speculate the rumors because it could be all bullshit for all we know. There's a lot of media guys that trying to make names for themselves, and I'd rather not promote it, to be honest with you. Grant, which hockey site is best to see the actual current weight and height? I don't know. None of them are overly accurate. Your most accurate, go to what I find the most accurate as far as heights go. Go back to go to the hockey writers. Say like Google in hockey writers 2023 weights and measurements, 2024 weights and measurements, the NHL Combine. Get their height from the Combine, and that to me is the closest to what their actual, because most, I mean, there are some exceptions that they grow later, but for the most part, that's about as accurate as you'll find, where they were actually measured by NHL Central Scouting at the Combine. And it's the closest that I find that you get to a player's actual height, because typically they don't grow really after that point. But hockey databases like to add an inch or two invariably. I wouldn't want a Lady Big winner on my team or beside me going over the trench. Kevin, man, you are. Do you ever want to talk about something other than toughness, or is that just... Carrier can sit some games or play right shot on fourth line. There you go. Hey, Grant, we had $18 million of cap space sitting in the press box tonight. Yeah. Speaking of Darcy Tucker, here's a trivia question. Oh, God. Again, that's... I don't know. I don't keep track of who marries who there, my friend. 8.75 comes off at the end of the season. Yeah, there you go. Ask me like draft trivia. not who's married to who, or in-laws, outlaws. Shane Carson? I don't know. A 6 might be the Angstrom Reinbacher as 6s and Arbor as 8th emergency guy. Yeah. I don't see. So they'd get, yeah. Where's the physicality there? Happy. Not a hell of a lot. With Line A's contract coming to a close, you think he would be playing on fire. Yeah. Grant, did you watch Hage play today? He looked good. Yes, I did. Looked good defensively. Scored a nice goal. Kept them in. Thanks, Grant. We'll check it out. There's no way the teams in the preseason when their players pass their physicals can list players' weights and heights publicly. Yeah, that's the other thing. You get that. Like Montreal sent me their info on their heights and weights. If you go back and look at Stu Cowan's tweets, whenever training camp started, and you'll probably find the listed heights and weights. I think he probably tweeted them out. That's, again, more accurate than hockey databases, that's for sure. No, I did say Shane Carson. So I got it right, eh? There you go. Top 10 picks in the 73 draft. Oh, God. Well, I know who went number 1. That's all that matters. Former Ottawa 67. Denny Potvin. When I was like 25, I would have been able to tell you. I'd have probably rhymed off the entire top 10. Who was the 256th pick in 2010? Ooh, that's a trick question. There were only 200 and I don't know. Draft trivia gotcha. Yeah, I caught that, Ken. Can you do top 10 1999? Holy frick. Oh, 99. That was a Patrick Stefan. Was that the Patrick Stefan? And what was Danny Heatley second overall? No, that was the friggin' Patrick Stefan draft for sure, right? I mean, he was something else. 99. Oh, that frick. That was the Sedin draft, because then they got they made that trade. Brian McCabe, the Hawks traded down, and the Thrashers agreed to pick Patrick Stefan, which was a complete joke. And Burke took the Sedin twins. Yeah, that was a good one. Serious question about the draft. Do you think there were more sure things when there were less teams in the league? Not necessarily, no. I don't think scouting was better. Scouting has gotten better as the years went along. Like, look at that 1999 draft. Like, the amount of guys that busts there used to be in the top 10. You don't see that many anymore, right? I mean, yes, I figured there was only 210. That's like 7 rounds, right? Who would you rather have on your team, Rick Chartrand or Jimmy Roberts? Well, I'd rather Rick Chartrand because I think Jimmy Roberts has passed away. But that's a good question. Johnny loves puppies. Who would you rather have, Chartrand or Roberts? Well, I know who Scotty would rather have. He loved his Jimmy Roberts. Who's your favorite all-time Hab? Maybe a name you don't hear a lot. Well, I don't know if you ever heard of Guy Lafleur. I like Pierre LaRouche. I wanted Scotty to play Pierre more. Friggin' 50 goal scorer when he was 19. It was, yeah. Corson and Tucker played together in TO, yeah. David, I can't think of his last name, Silva Thrill. Or how about when Reja Oul said Marian Hossa? The Montreal Canadiens with the 16th pick are pleased to select Marian Hossa. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Marcel Hossa. Yeah. You're hoping that he became the next Marian Hossa. Oh, the Reja Oul years. Reja is a beautiful man, great man, nicest man you ever meet, but he was not meant to be the GM of the Montreal Canadiens. Dark days. Hawks have been tanking most of the year. Yes. Any players of recent years you really liked that ended up playing better than you thought? Any players that I really liked, like Montreal? Are you talking like drafted players or ended up playing better than you thought? Well, if I really liked them, then they probably just played up to what I expected, right? What year did the NHL go from 3 forward lines and added the 4th line? I don't know. Like, you mean had expanded rosters, you mean? Well, it would have been 70-ish, give or take a couple of years, I think. You know? Do you think Suzuki could beat the Flyers' most points in Habs franchise history? I don't know. How many did Lafleur have? About 1,200 with the Habs. 12 something. I don't think so. That would be. I think there might be other players that have a better shot at it than Nick. No, I mean he's already 20. He's going to be turning 27 this summer, and he is 451. So he'd need almost 800 more points. With the Canadians, I don't think so. The way friggin' Hudson's going, he might have a better chance. Aside from Mr. Beliveau, yeah, really, eh? The old days, they played 9 forwards and went to 12, yeah. Yeah, well, it was around 1970 that they went from Montreal trades for a center in the offseason. Should Montreal try Capman on the top line? Yeah, did a lot for the Habs player alumni before Breezer took over. Oh yeah, I interviewed Ray-Jean Houle a few years back, and I wanted to do a book on first overall draft picks and interview them all. Like starting from the modern draft, like Gilbert Perreault on, or Ray-Jean Houle on, and I talked to Ray-Jean, and I got Guy's number too, and then Guy got cancer, and he passed away, and he couldn't do it. He wasn't well enough. His son told him that he just wasn't well enough to do it, and I never got to interview Guy. And I talked to Danny Potvin, and it was like trying to pull teeth. He wanted, I don't know. Denny's a bit of an odd character. To call him, I had to do something weird, and then he called me back. It just jumped through way too many hoops, and then finally, he never got back to me with a yes or no. So then another first overall, and I shelved it and decided not to do the book. But I do want to write some draft books in the future. I mean, I have the background, and I could possibly do it. But Ray-Jean was a great interview, and talked about his hockey career right up. And then as soon as I mentioned GM, he said, "You know what, Grant, I don't want to talk about it like at all." He didn't want one question about his tenure as the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, and it's too bad. Morris Lester was my favorite player. Played in Buffalo in '69. Fish boy, you're a bit of a quirky dude, eh? You get some you got some funny, quirky texts in here. Growing up, my parish priest coached St. Mike's in the 50s. Father Love, quickest sermons and masses ever. 11 minutes was his record. And I had to hustle being an altar boy. There you go. Yeah. Father David Bauer. Father Love. Grant, one of my childhood buddies, runs a very successful sports complex. Maybe you're looking for sponsors I can put in contact. Yeah, I'm looking for sponsors. I just lost Logs End. So, yes, please. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, they were. St. Mike's. Father David Bauer. Definitely. Yeah, Silva Thrill. Absolutely. Fired me off a. And by the way, anyone else knows anyone that might want to sponsor, please let me know. Sil, there's my my work email, grant at HabsCast.ca. Maybe send me an email, and you know, I'd appreciate it if you think that it might be something that he'd be interested. Uh, you never know. Maybe if it's in Quebec or Ontario, preferably, it stands a better chance. I know I had a fella maybe able to help each other out. He's always looking for more players and teams. Okay. Hard to believe Suzuki is almost 27. I keep thinking he's 22, 23. I know. My legs don't work like they used to. I don't know why, but I might regret this. But Bish Boy, I have the feeling that I'd like to have a pint with you sometime. Uh, all right, I'm almost done my beer. We still got 136. I'm up over 2 hours. I'm going to go a little longer here because people have been quite generous. I always feel guilty. Signing off too early when I get lots of donations. Laval. Oh well, yeah, because that's where the majority of my. Yeah, sure. Email me there, Sil. I appreciate that, and anyone else. And if you know anybody knows anyone that sells advertising or sell as a salesperson, a cool part-time gig for someone, commission salesperson. I mean, I'm looking for someone in the Montreal area because I don't live there that can go around, try to get me a few sponsors. So, somebody, maybe a young go-getter, wouldn't mind a little bit extra income. Let me know. Grant, watch you every day. Have a great night, homie. Okay, buddy. Regarding passing Lafleur for most points, I would think it has to be someone that joins the team very young. Yeah. Lane or Demi or Slav. Yeah. Like right now, Slav's off to the, Slav started at 18 and he's already got, 350-point seasons. So Slav, Lane, or Demi are the best bets from this squad to, and obviously Lane being a defenseman, you wouldn't think, but holy frig. I mean, if he's a point per game defenseman for 15 years, then he'll break Lafleur's record, and I wouldn't put it past the little bugger. He's something else. All right, folks. I think I might wrap this up here. My beer appears to be almost done. Not getting any more questions. So tomorrow, Rick is getting up at 4 o'clock and driving wife and daughter to the airport. So I don't know when he's going to be on. He says he can do maybe a post game. So draft prospect tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to do it. Maybe after the game, but he said he could come on. He said he could come on after the game tomorrow night. So I'll do a post game tomorrow night. I've got some Luke Middlestad. I had a look at him, and I might put up a video tomorrow on Luke Middlestad, seeing that he's the most recent signing, right? Little scouting report on Luke tomorrow. I don't know if Rick will be around to do his prospect of the week. Might have to skip that this week, but I might put something out tomorrow afternoon and do a little pregame. Luke Middlestad, do a little scouting report on him, video scouting report. But I'll definitely be doing a post game again tomorrow night. So Sunday night, hope you can join me. Are they playing at 7 o'clock tomorrow night? I didn't check the schedule. I'm presuming that they will. This is a great pod. So much insight. Check day today here from the States. Oh, right on, Jay Pecci. Thanks, buddy. And I've noticed a couple of texts from you, and don't be shy. We don't bite here. The more people that tune in, the better. I appreciate it. Thank you, Cool Hand Luke, for the helping towards the power bill. Yeah, and thanks for the effort to try to get 150 people to chip in $2 there. I knew that wasn't gonna fly, but we did get a couple of more people contributing, and that I appreciate the effort. To everybody that donated, as usual, thank you. Paul, $20, that was cool. New member Jordan Sailor, and a couple of contributions. Dino, Happy Hab, Marcel Loves Spa is a new member. Marcel loves spa. Pretty cool. Thank you for becoming a new member, and Jordan for becoming a new member. Mark, as always, for your contributions. Marlon Brando threw in a toonie. It's pretty cool when even Marlon Brando supports your cause, eh? You gotta like that. And Liam's gonna, I don't know if he'll do Ben Wilson this week. By the way, where is he there? Kevin McCarthy. McCarty? Ben Wilson. Liam McGuire's going to interview him. You'll probably like that one. One of the toughest customers to ever play in the NHL. We got any 80s rock and roll music fans on here? I got a topic. What I think was the best rock and roll band of the 80s. One of these nights, I want to run it by you folks. Who you think was the best band, rock and roll band of the 1980s, and their top 5 albums in row. And we'll get into that. That'll be a fun. Hey, rock and roll and hockey, I don't know. They just seem to go hand in hand. You know what? They're my second choice. it's, yeah. You know what? There's two. There's two for me, and U2 is one of them. Yeah. I thought about that. I said, okay, well, it's either this band or it's U2. But I've got another one that I think their output, it was close. Hey, you could argue U2 as well. But anyway, yeah, put on quite a show, eh? I saw the Unforgettable Fire tour, and it was excellent for sure. All right, well, maybe we'll get into that next, maybe tomorrow night, and I'll reveal the band that I think was the best rock and roll band of the 1980s. 80s, the best music. I think 65 to 75 was the best music era. 80s started to get a little, I don't know, a little too electronic, and the electronic drums and stuff. That's why I think these two bands, and one of them's U2, kind of stood out in the 80s for me. But I'm leaving, since I'm out of beer, I'm packing her in for tonight, but it's a good subject for us to get into maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. Alrighty. AC/DC, no. Not for me. Same three chords over and over. Love them, but not the best band. Highway to Hell. 80s. Guns N' Roses. They didn't even start till what? Midway through or more? No. Not Guns N' Roses either. They're more 90s. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, rock and roll. I didn't say. Yeah. Definitely not Metallica either. No. Okay, not many people are going to be on the same wavelength as me with this. Okay, that's fine. People like it a little harder. Like, those are almost like metal bands, or not rock and roll. Different thing. Just rock and roll. Anyway. It's only three letters in the band. It's a three letters. Rolling Stones, no. Not in the 80s, Frank. Dio. Okay, I told you, not metal. No. Not Dio. American band, Southern States. Three letters in the name. Don't think anyone put out a better, for my money, put out better albums, like from, well, they started in my college years, so like 82, 81, 82. CCR, now you're going into the 60s, and okay, 1980s. CCR was like 67 to 72. That was their run. Nobody gonna guess this. I didn't think. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wait till somebody gets. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. REM. Absolutely loved that band in the 80s. Yep, that's it. They were along with Echo and the Bunnymen and the Jam, and there was a few. I liked a lot of the British rock bands, the Stranglers, but like from about 1981 or 1982, Murmur to Automatic for the People. Quite a run of fantastic albums. And anyway, I'd be curious to know if there are any REM fans out there, what your favorite 5 REM albums are. Phil Collins, a fantastic drummer. I didn't really, I mean, I liked Genesis. I only actually really got into Genesis lately, the last decade. Started listening to all their albums and the early stuff from Foxtrot until Duke, I guess. That was their best run. Yeah, Genesis. I saw Genesis, the Duke tour. They were pretty good. Phil Collins, hell of a drummer, unbelievable. Ken, you were an REM guy, yeah. Oh, I was listening to Life's Rich Pageant the other day, and that was it in college for me. So you two REM, you like short name bands? Yeah, short name girls. There you go. Yeah, well, for a lot of people, it was early '90s stuff, but for me, Ken, Life's Rich Pageant, Document, Murmur, Reckoning. Life's Rich Pageant and Reckoning, my favorites. Murmur. It's often the ones that you get first, right? For me, they got too commercial. I didn't mind Green. I didn't mind, but Automatic for the People was a little too commercial for me. Like I must have heard Man in the Moon a billion times, and I could go the rest of my life without ever hearing that song again. Like most bands, I just don't like when they go too commercial. But anyway, I guess we won't have the topic after all. Yes, I'm doing a Mitch. Hey, hockey for me, hockey and rock and roll has always gone together. And yeah, I'm just curious if there were any REM fans from the 80s. Not seeing too many people saying, "Oh yeah, Reckoning, what an album." But anyway, I was curious because I know a few of you are my age, quite a few. So, and DC88 keeps talking hockey here. Hockey, beers, and rock and roll. Absolutely, Ken. Thank God for Dobson, says DC88X. Yes. Worried Reinbacher may be fragile. Why is that? Because he hasn't been injured since he came back? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And don't worry, DC88X. Are you an AC/DC fan, by the way? Don't worry about Reinbacher. He's going to be fine. Good mix, Grant. It's all good, and I hear you. Yeah, you too. Again, I like the early stuff. Like if you ask me, talk about the passion. That's my favorite song off a Murmur. Yes, Nas. Big time. First album I bought was Reckoning, though, and I'll always be a soft spot for me. South Central Rain and Rockville. Oh, great songs. What a band. Hockey, beers, and rock and roll. Absolutely. Well, we'll get into a discussion, but War and Boy will always be my favorite U2 albums. I know that's probably not for most. It's Joshua Tree for most, right? But War and Boy for me, best. Their best albums. They never topped it for me. Although Joshua Tree is amazing. Best concert you ever saw? Oh, saw lots of good concerts. That's tough. I mean, frig. I loved a lot of them. I saw Floyd, Supertramp. Joe Cocker was fantastic. I always loved Neil Young. I saw him I don't know how many times. Always loved, I saw Tragically Hip, I don't know, 8 times, Blue Rodeo. But best, wow. Dire Straits I really liked with Stevie Ray Vaughan. That was quite a double bill. Frig. There's so many good ones. Tom Petty. Was Tom Petty in Split Ends? I think that was a really good concert. Loved Tom Petty. That was early days for Tom Petty too. Miss Tom Petty. He died way too early. Great man. Frig. I saw Dylan. I was 10 feet away from him, and the makeup was like 100 degrees, and the makeup just rolling down his face. Something else. Guess who? Yeah, definitely. I saw Randy Bachman Calabogie 5 years ago. He played a bunch of Guess Who, BTO. But yeah, frig. Canned Wheat and all that good stuff. Guess Who? Absolutely. Best Canadian band of the late 60s, early 70s, man. They were Guess Who and the Stampeders. Yeah, absolutely. Always have time for the Guess Who. All right, folks. 2:27. Love that you are here over 2.5 hours. Yeah, well, hey. Saturday night, I like hanging out with my buds. My buds on live chat. Okay, folks, my beer's done. Nature's calling. Gotta let my puppy dog out. Always a blast talking with you folks. I see a lot of concert, but I'd have to say my best was Trooper. You know what? I saw Trooper. Underrated band. I saw the Trooper at Barrymore's, which is a small venue in Ottawa. It's closed now, but man, the lead singer, like it sounded like if you closed your eyes, you'd think you were listening to the records. You know, it was always very impressive. But yeah, they surprised me. They put on a really, really good show. Didn't mind them. At the cafeteria at Algonquin, where I went, took journalism. Like a lot of Canadian bands played there. Jeff Healy, uh, David Wilcox, Kim Mitchell, friggin' like just about all of a lot of them played in the cafeteria. Those were good. Those were great concerts too. Lots of fun. I've seen Trooper as well. Outdoor concert in my hometown summer festival. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Lots of good Canadian bands those days. Street Heart was good. Definitely. Okay, folks. Thank you for another great show. Hey, thanks, Mark, for as always for checking in on the live count, the like count. We got over 100. Thanks a lot to you. Might have made like $60-$80 even tonight too. Thanks to all you good folks, and the numbers are going to be great. People tuning in for the whole time, and I bet you we're probably 1,500 people tuned in. So there's another $15 that I'll be making. Yahoo! Might crack 100 today. Nice to have $100 day doing what you love. What more can you ask for, right? Life's good. Habs get a win tomorrow, life will be even better. Okay. On that note, have a grand evening. We'll see you later on tonight after the Habs beat up on the Ducks. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good night.